I used to think that leftists weren't funny. I used to think really that the left just does not have a sense of humor. We all know the left can't meme. We know that. That's for sure. But you got to ask, are they actually funny? In the year 2024, do any leftists actually have a sense of humor? They have Jon Stewart. He's supposed to be funny.
It's the dang Democrat-encouraged crime. It's one of the right's favorite talking points, not just from Milwaukee, but for all Democratic-run cities, that those cities are crime-infested shitholes, where life is miserable and everyone hates everybody. But people who live in these cities know that this rhetoric is only kind of true. Now, and when people who don't live in these cities say it, it's very annoying. And by the way, it does turn out the crime is actually down.
The FBI reporting the nation's violent crime rate has dropped dramatically this year.
Overall violent crime down 15% from last year. Murders down 26%. By every national metric, crime is down.
Solid trend. Crime is down. It's all a misunderstanding. But now that the FBI numbers are out, I'm sure that the right-wing media will adjust accordingly.
Quality of life is not captured in any of the FBI numbers. And if you live in a blue city, walk outside and use your eyes.
You should use your f***ing eyes. Do you even see over your shoulder? They were doing double donuts in a parking lot. That's like the Cirque du Soleil of automobiles. That's not crime. That's art.
Well, apparently the answer is no. They don't. According to the few liberals I know, the people that actually still claim to be liberals that I know, they say Jon Stewart's a comedian. They think that Jon Stewart is actually a funny guy. And I got to be honest, man, he's not. I mean, the guy is not funny. He's not funny at all. And I think the fact that he, and just, Rachel Maddow as well, I think the fact that these people can really only write enough material or have it written for them, wherever the stuff comes from, there's only enough material to do their show once a week. I think that's pretty telling. I mean, this is comedy to the left. This is what the left believes comedy is, but the same tired old misleading lefty nonsense with funny faces and a sign that literally tells the studio audience when and how hard to laugh. I mean, this is liberal comedy. Actually, that's what the liberals want you to think that it is, when in reality, all it is just really, really lazy, pretty prototypical propaganda, just trying to get people late at night. And that's where we're at in the year 2024. You can either believe your own eyes, you can believe your own experience, believe your own local police, or you can believe CBS and Jon Stewart when they tell you that according to the FBI, crime numbers are down year after year. Those people are not going to tell you that local law enforcement are really not even reporting anything to the FBI anymore. They're not going to tell you that the only thing that is dropped is FBI reporting, not actual crime, but they're not collecting the data. But rest assured, Lester Holt says it's safe to go into the subway in New York. I mean, don't mind the hundreds of National Guardsmen hanging out down there. Believe the narrative, not the facts.
We're not getting the accurate reporting, the accurate picture of the crime trends.
In 2021, the FBI transitioned to a new system to track crime trends. It is voluntary for local law enforcement to send in data. However, Jason Johnson with the Law Enforcement Legal Defense Fund points out the FBI's new system is complex to navigate. Some of the nation's largest cities, like New York and Los Angeles, don't even send in their data, leaving big holes that critics say skew national numbers.
Reporting is burdensome, and that's the reason why even these large agencies with lots of resources, I mean, these are not under-resourced agencies, find it too burdensome to comply with. So the compliance is not good.
For example, when it comes to homicide rates, FBI crime data shows an 8.3% increase from 2019 to 2023. However, data from the CDC says homicides rose 19.9% over the same time frame, a double-digit difference. Other large discrepancies exist between the FBI data and victim-based reporting. From 2019 to 2022, victims reported a 30% increase in robberies. FBI data says robberies decreased by 18% over the same time frame.
It was a mistake to produce a report that was fundamentally flawed. It shouldn't have been, I think it shouldn't have been produced at all.
Mark Morgan said it was irresponsible for the FBI to release the report with incomplete data. The FBI saying they have no comment on the external report.
You know, it's always the case. It's always the same thing, man. The gap between what is told to us and what is actually true is wide. I mean, and it just keeps getting wider and wider and wider. And here's the thing, man. When government shills like Karine Jean-Pierre or garbage politicians, like all of them, basically like all of them, when they quote these kind of figures and they try to make the unassuming victims of propaganda believe that, Republicans are crazy and everything's perfectly safe. Everyone's safe. You've never been better. These people know better. It reminds me of Nancy Pelosi telling her constituents, don't listen to President Trump. He's a xenophobe. Get your ass down to Chinatown. And she was telling people this in March of 2020. I mean, these people know better, but truth and facts don't matter to these people. The only thing that matters is narrative and agenda. That is all that matters. And it's no secret why. We've been literally warned. We've been getting warned since at least the 1980s.
Ideological subversion is the slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism.
I mean, what were we thinking? Isn't it amazing, man, to imagine that we had a defected KGB psychologist literally explain to us what powerful forces were doing to us, planned to do to us, and were doing to us? We just sat there and we took it. And now, I mean, some of us are so far deep into the process that he explained, we're so successfully ideologically subverted that we can watch that video and do just as we're trained to do, think that it's some sort of right-wing, crazy conspiracy nonsense. And of course, the same people that believe that believe that because Lester Holt and Jon Stewart told them that everything is good, crime is low, getting lower, their kids are safe, they just go on and ignoring everything and anything that they actually see with their own eyes. And they do. They ignore every single bit of it. And it worked. I mean, we have been ideologically subverted for sure. It's remarkable stuff. But that's just my take, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, guys, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.